Welcome to the season finale of WL Unfiltered. I'm Craig Bennett, General Manager of Whitelight. I'm joined here today by Dave Isherwood, who's our Technical Director, and I'll also be introducing a range of other faces as we go through the session today. These videos have been a really great opportunity for us to show you behind the scenes here at Whitelight and to introduce you to some of the people that make your hire, your sale, or any of the services possible for you. We've been listening to your feedback on social media, and we've tried to include lots of bits that you've said would be of interest to you. We're always interested to hear more, so if there's anything that you would like to see from us, do let us know. This is really about bringing our stories to life, and this episode is a really special episode for us. So, as I was saying, Dave is here with us today, and as some of you may have heard, Dave is going to be retiring from Whitelight as we move into March, I think it is this year.
Yeah, later in March.
So this episode's really to just take a moment to join in with Dave, but then also to introduce you to some of the team that will be taking on some parts of Dave's role as we move forward. So Dave, you've been really key and influential, certainly in my career, but also in some of the others that we'll be introducing here today. Who was really key for you? Who kind of got you started, or who was a key collaborator during your time?
I think the two most important people really over the years have been John Simpson, who sadly is no longer with us, and Brian Raven. It's Brian's fault I'm here actually. He rang me up 30-something years ago and offered me a bit of casual work, and the rest is history, as they say.
So you're still here as a casual.
And I think, and it was John who actually officially gave me the job. I think it was the shortest and only interview I've had. But it's the trust that John placed in, not just myself, but that whole management team, and allowed us to sort of grow and take on something which he'd founded and help steer it and develop it to what it's become today. And obviously over that time I worked really closely with Brian. Brian's very much the sort of public face and the outgoing sort of, and I was behind sort of doing some of the detail and the technical bits that kept it all going. And that relationship was a really key relationship, I think, and one that I enjoyed for many, many years. So I think those are, I'd single those two out really as the absolutely most influential people behind the career and well, I said a career, I hate saying that word.
So, as I say, I think you've been really key and influential in many of our careers. So let's introduce the rest of the team.
Let's meet the team.
Yeah. So just as a quick introduction, we've got Ian Chalampovich, our hire team manager, Fanny Sampasta, our head of marketing, Dave and myself. We're joined by Jono, who is our senior business development manager, Dom Yates, who is our head of lighting, and Leo Humphrey, our sales team manager. So, Dave, one of the key things that you've really looked after here in your time at Whitelight has been our kind of capex and our asset buying strategies. Which items should make it into our inventory.
Picking winners.
Absolutely, yes, brilliant.
Picking winning products.
And that part of your role is really going to be looked after in the future by Dom. So Dom, as you move into this new role, what's most exciting? What are you most interested by and looking forward to?
Well, listen, first and foremost, it's a really exciting role to be taking on. I think that Whitelight's always been at the forefront of innovation and technology, led by Dave's careful stewardship and trying to pick the new and exciting products, but also products that are commercially viable. There's a few things that we're watching really carefully, like the developments of remote follow spot technology and the continued evolution of IP-rated fixtures. They're two things we're particularly interested in at the moment. We're also going to continue to build our infrastructure, our network infrastructure and our data distribution infrastructure to make sure we're delivering real quality, rock-solid systems to our customers. Finally, we're also going to continue to invest in a range of products from different manufacturers, just to ensure that lighting designers have a real broad range of choice when they come to us to do a show.
Really getting the customer's voice in that is hugely important to us, and I think one of the key voices and actually the key person to capture that, Jono, is yourself as business development manager. So from your conversations with clients, what do you think that the market or our customers are most excited about in terms of technology in the future?
Yeah, I think we're at a really exciting time where there's some really exciting products and new innovations that are coming out and coming through. And we're at a point where manufacturers are providing this kit, and also the venues have got the appetite to invest in it. And they're starting to see that it's helping with their sustainability, it's helping with their cost reductions, and it's giving lighting designers wider choices as well. So it's, I see it coming through a lot more. I see a lot more venues taking it on this year, and we look forward to working with them.
And Leo, the other side of that, working really closely with our manufacturers is vital as well, to make sure we joined and brought that link through from the customer through the rental or sales operation and back to the manufacturer. How do we work closely? How have you shaped that relationship?
Yeah, absolutely. Working with Jono and Dom and their feedback from customers and what we need in rental, working with the manufacturers, looking at training, looking at the way in which we might be able to launch a product and work together on that, bring customer feedback into the R&D cycle and all of those different stages, right from the beginning of the product development right through to the end of its service kind of history, and looking at how we support customers from an ongoing perspective as well.
And Fanny, you look after our brand and have really kind of taken hold of cherishing that and making sure that it's looked after as we move forward within a new company environment. How do you work with our customers to help tell the stories of their success and how we've played a part in that?
At White Light, we celebrate the success of our customers, and we do so via various channels. We interview our lighting designers, we interview our clients. We even love doing like the behind the scenes with the production electricians in our warehouses when they come in and prep all the equipment. And it's really great to hear, what the customers have to say. We are doing a lot of customer-centric campaigns as well, and we love listening to what they say in order to shape what the content we're producing. One of the essence of White Light has always been, the industry and how do we support the community. We've helped with emerging lighting designers, and I'm sure, Dave, you'll be able to tell a bit more about that as well.
I think that's really important. White Light has always been about being part of a wider part of the community, not just about a supplier of equipment, for hire or sale or whatever. It's about being that supportive part of the community, watching people's careers, helping people's careers develop. There's some lighting designers I first met when they were student trainees or whatever, and are now lighting the international stage. It's absolutely brilliant to have seen, being part of that journey, and I think it's really important. The White Light brand is synonymous with that sense of community. I hope it will continue for a long time.
And Jono, from within your role, how do you interact with that community and really capture the customer's voice and again stories? And
So I've been fortunate to work in a number of venues, from West End to regional shows outside of my time at White Light, and I think I speak on behalf of a lot of the staff here that we are theatre people by virtue of what we are. We love what we do, and that really helps, because I think when we're trying to work with clients and we're advocating solutions and we're trying to come up with new ideas, we really need to get into their mind's eye, and we just need to know, have an idea of what they're looking for. So whether that be the show must go on mentality, we must make sure that kit arrives on time, whether it's because there are budget constraints, whether we're looking at a sustainability argument. We appreciate every venue is different, and so we need to kind of make sure that our solution is different every time. We're not just trying to do the same run-of-the-mill thing every time, and I think that's what sets it apart.
It comes down to choice again.
Yeah,
it's offering people a choice, whether it's a choice of equipment or a choice of budget, or it's all about choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it's the dialogue that we have as well. I think it's the key thing, and the word in your question is listen. We do listen to people, and we want to make sure that we go above and beyond to deliver what they're looking for.
And one person who is notably absent today is Stuart Porter, who's our head of business development for the hire department. Stuart's unfortunately not with us at the moment because he is unwell, and we will send him our best wishes. But as Fanny was saying about community, and as Jono mentions there about really engaging with and listening to our customers, Stuart's role in this is vital for how we work together with our customers from a hire perspective. So Ian, you manage the hire team here for White Light. And one of the things that Dave has really acted as an anchor for over all of the years that I've certainly worked with him has really been there for the quality of delivery and the products and the service that we are offering, certainly from a higher perspective. What do you think are the core strengths of White Light in order to allow us to help deliver so consistently such a good standard of quality?
Well, I think our consistency comes from our technical excellence that we have and just real world understanding. If we go with just the hire team themselves, their knowledge is incredible. You know, they can take these creative ideas that people bring to us with their budgets, which we need to work with and find solutions, and they can find a way of making those creative ideas into reality. And then you just
I think I don't know how many, we were trying to work it out the other night, how many years of experience there is in that hire team. And I think we got somewhere close to 200 years of experience.
Exactly that. And then, you know, you move on to the warehouse and operations teams. You know, they're the backbone of the operation. You know, their standard of prep, how the kit is received on site. You know, all of those things are just fantastic and work so well. And then if you look at 2026, and we've now got a technical service department. What's exciting about it is developing and kind of trying to figure out ways that we can utilise that department to add an extra layer almost and more support for our customers. It's just really exciting.
Absolutely. So just before we close, I guess what haven't we said? Any final thoughts from any of you? Jono, anything?
Yeah, we've mentioned our amazing teams, and it's probably worth saying that we have colleagues all over the country. Got Paul Botham, our business development manager in the north of England. We've also got account managers dotted across the UK, and we can really visit and attend any venue across the country. So you know, we're trying to avoid being too London-centric.
Dom?
Well, I think it's just worth underlining, whilst it's a change of leadership at the top of the business, we've all been here a really long time, and we all genuinely care about it, what we're trying to do here, and what we're trying to offer all of our customers.
Yeah, absolutely. And how about you, Ian? Any final thoughts?
Well, I was just going to say, if you haven't used White Light and you've got an idea, give us a call. Speak to one of the team. Even if it's just an idea and you're not sure how to do it, trust in the team. You might be able to actually produce what you want and give you a few solutions and fit within budget. So, you know, give us a call.
And Dave, any final thoughts?
White Light's always been about the people, and you know, I'm sad to be leaving such a brilliant team, but I'm going to spend some more time climbing mountains and riding my bike, and I shall miss you all fondly, but keep a close eye on what's going on, and there we go. Thank you.
Dave, you haven't left us yet. You are still with
here.
us. But I hope this video has given a really good introduction to some of the faces that you have been working with for a number of years and will continue to work with. In some, maybe season 2 of White Light Unfiltered, we'll be introducing further faces and telling more stories. If there is anything that you're interested in or would like to hear from us, then do please get in touch. But otherwise, thank you very much.